What's up, guys? So you guys are far back as far as the trailer's just about ready to leave our home in Leonard, Minnesota. Getting ready to head to Bemidji, where we hang with a friend of mine, and he lets me use this big shop to finish up the roof and things like that. And then we take off to Missouri. So, but it's been a long haul. I've totally revamped. You'll see. I'm not going to tell you the whole thing right now, but it looks really amazing. I can't wait to show you guys. I'm really happy with how the new camper turned out, or the renovated camper came out, or the salvage camper came out. But this video is about pain meds. It's been 6 months exactly today since I stopped taking pain meds, and I've increased my workouts. You guys know I'm going to hopefully compete in that contest, classic physiques or natural classic physiques in March. And I got doctor stuff this weekend about my colon. Hopefully it's not colon cancer. Hopefully it's just something simple like Crohn's disease, which I've been living with the type of Crohn's my whole life. So, but don't make excuses, guys. Get after it. You're the only one that can push yourselves. You're the only one that can make a difference. And God wants what's best for you, but you have to want what's best for you as well. Don't slow down. Just keep pushing forward. Love y'all. Be good to each other. Talk to you soon. Okay, today is roof day, and my for some reason my phone didn't charge last night, so I'm going to use the GoPro, and I think I'm going to attach it to the wall up there somewhere. Let me just give you a quick overview of where we're at. All 3 coats of paint are done. Stop! You want to get out? You can get out, but you're going to stay here. I'm going to put you on your rope. Come on out. Jeez, stay here. You will stay here. He's hungry. I got to feed him. Actually, the wife's bringing the food down to the shop so I can feed him. So 3 coats of paint. It's the waterproof resistant mold stuff. We are going to do some designs. We haven't figured it out yet. We've talked about it, but we're going to do that later. I need to do a couple things before we hit the road, which is today. Which I'm going to do today, hopefully, is we're going to do the roof, put the rubber on the roof, and then I'm going to take that lap stuff and actually put a little bead around the windows to waterproof and these things, because for some reason we got a little, see those little bubbles in there? I don't like that. So I want that to be sealed really well before we hit the road. I guess that means I gotta take those wheel wells off again. Oh Lord, that's such a hassle. Stay over here, buddy. What else? Windows are done, or the taillights are done. This side's done. I showed you all this before. Did some wiring. Let's see if there's enough light in here to show you the lighting we did. 2 adjusted 2 lighting strips, okay, and those are LED. That's 12 volt. Use my conduit here, and my conduit goes down here, and there's a switch. I don't have a soldering gun, so I may have to get one. Doesn't quite fit unless I use a soldering gun. So the same thing on this side. The light strip here, LED light strip with a light switch on the side of the bench over here. Still have a lot more to do in electrical, but I think we just need to hit the road and get to a family member's house. I feel a little bit more comfortable. I don't like to feel like I'm taking up somebody's space, so let's take a look at the roof real quick. Oh, the first thing I had to do was this ladder broke. It was useless, so that's what it's supposed to look like. It broke off. The bolt broke off. So sorry, it's blurry. So I just dug through the hardware jar I had, 2 of them, and found a nut Actually, I found an Allen wrench bolt and a what are they called, nylon nuts, and I also got a washer in there too. So it's a little bit long, but it shouldn't, you know, it shouldn't get you when you're using it. Stay over here. Hey, get over here. Mr. Jones, come over here. Come here. Hey, I'm talking to you. Get over here. Yeah, that's right. You get over here when I come here. Look at this guy, just like a little kid. You stay over here. You don't wander off. It's been a little naughty lately. I don't know if he's rebelling like a kid does when you're moving. But I've actually had to, for the first time ever, I had to put him on a rope. Don't usually do that unless we're camping, because of other dogs, of course. And check out the roof. So first thing I gotta do is sweep it off, make sure it's all clear of dust and debris. This is that liquid rubber tape. It's not going anywhere, Lord. That's like on there good. I thought it was gonna peel off or something, but no way. The heat was gonna cause it to peel off, but nope. It's good. So stay over here. Stay over here. Stay here. Oh, I see you jacked my soda. Hey, beautiful. Morning. Ready to put the roof on?
Yep.
Yep, she says. Watch out for Kipper. Did you bring his food like I texted you? He's starving, honey. He pooped too. All right, let me show these guys the roof, and then I'm not gonna go all the way up there right now. So there we have it.
I didn't bring you soda though.
Oh, thanks, babe.
That's why I kept it.
You know, from up here, the roof doesn't look very big at all. That's so weird. Like, looking at the roof right now, it looks tiny.
Right.
It's not going to take us long to do this. So, all right, let's get started. Let's do this. I don't like kites, and I don't like ladders. Stupid leg doesn't work, so I feel like I'm always going to fall. Ouch. All right, let's do this. First thing we got to do is get everything cleaned off the roof. Anything loose has to be swept off. Rocks, debris. Yeah, that was me telling the wife, look out, you're going to get a hair full of dust. So what I'm using for the roof is a rubber material called EPDM. And it's usually used for mobile homes or prefab homes. But it's heavy duty. It's a lot heavier than it looks. And we had it stored inside the garage. You can see us lifting it onto the bench. And then we brought it around to the side of the camper where the ladder was. And we're going to do the technique that everyone talks about, which is putting half on first, gluing down one side, rolling it out, smoothing it out, and then gluing down the other side. That's the technique we decided to use, which I believe is very similar to what they use when they tell you how to recoat your RV. I'm going to show you all those steps. Step one is to lay it out and make sure it fits.
I'm going to interrupt myself real quick to point out that we are constantly sweeping. If you notice that, every time we move the plastic around or unfold another part, we swept it. We wanted all the dirt and grime, everything. We wanted it gone out of there. Anyways, this rubber coating, the EPDM, was donated to the cause by a friend of mine, and it was pre-cut. So I knew that it was just over 20 feet, but I wasn't sure exactly how wide it was. It ended up being just enough. It ended up being like 9 feet at the most. It was perfect size. It was a perfect piece. So that was a blessing. Next, I walked around each side and visually checked to make sure that there was enough overhang. I also moved the scaffolding so that we could do one half of the roof at a time and work together as we folded the rubber back. And the GoPro stopped recording, but you didn't miss much. All we did was pull back the rubber mat on itself so it's halfway covered. We could work on half of the roof at a time.
Alright, quick update because of I'm not even sure if the GoPro's recording. GoPro is up there. I have to check the battery. Remember, the battery's only lasts like an hour and a half, so I gotta check that soon. Let's move this ladder over here and I'll show you what we got going on so far. You know, this piece of rubber was given to me by my friend Tom, and such a blessing to have it. What's really crazy is that it just fits. Like, there's a little extra over here, but there's exactly 6 inches on that side, which is what you're supposed to have, and there's almost 6 inches in the front overhang and 6 inches in the back overhang, which is what you're supposed to do from the videos I watched. Okay, now if I had made the roof flat instead of having that angle piece right there, there would not have been enough at all. There would not have been enough. Wow, that would have been really bad, seriously, if I had done it that way. So my little piece up there that's acting like, what do you call it? I don't know. I was trying to make some type of a protectant of the roof, but I'm actually going to have to attach the rubber. This rubber is going to actually have to be attached to that piece with the termination bar. So that's going to take some little figuring and things like that. I hope I don't end up with a bubble where my seam is over there, but I'll just put a lot of glue in there and see how it works. Just waiting on the wife. She went to go take care of something with the dog and use the bathroom. Don't tell her I told you that she had to use the bathroom. Anyways, so I'm waiting on her. Oh, also, I don't know if I told you that already, but I went ahead and used that liquid rubber seam in Dicor, which is the product that I'm using. I believe this is the Dicor rubber seam as well. They actually recommend using that. So, you know, better safe than sorry. Don't want any leaks. Only thing I don't have is the butyl tape to go around underneath. So I didn't know that you're supposed to have butyl tape underneath the termination bar. So we're gonna have to go hunting for that. So I think what we're gonna do is we're going to put the glue down, smooth the roof out, cut the holes out for the objects, and then I'm gonna go get the butyl tape, and I have to pick up my prescriptions today too. But we really wanted to get out of here today. I don't think that ain't happening, because I just also read that it has to cure for 48 hours. So looks like it'll be in here. So that's one of the reasons why I want to get the glue done, so I can sit here. Oh gosh, not fall off the ladder. All right, let me get that set up now. I don't know how much battery I was charging the phone in the truck, so I'll see how much battery I have, and then I can try to show you what I'm doing for the rest of this project. Okay, guys? All right, let's get at it.
And guess what? The GoPro overheated in the sun and stopped recording there's an error, whatnot. So we missed the first, or you missed the first gluing session. That first half right there that you see has been glued, and I'm actually waiting for it to get tacky. You have to wait till it gets to like almost a clear opaque color. It goes from white to opaque to almost clear, and it's tacky, and that's when you smooth out the rubber on top of it. So you missed that for the first half of the video, and I apologize for that, but I show you the second half, and you will see that it's the same exact process. It's not hard, it's not complicated, and if you watch the second half, you'll see how it's done. It's not. If you watch the second half, you'll see that it's real easy, real simple to do.
So I wonder if that GoPro is still recording. Just change the battery real quick too. All right, real quick update. My phone is not. It wasn't charged. It's been charging in the truck, but it got super hot. Oh, I think it's ready to go, babe. Okay, so we threw down the glue on this side, and now it changed colors. I'm pretty sure that means we need to do it now. So we're gonna roll out this part of it, and then we're gonna come back, glue the other side, and roll that out. Okay, let me just stop this.
Okay, so the left of where I'm working right now is what you missed. Me gluing down and prepping it. And you saw just a minute ago, I showed you what it looked like when it went from the white color to the opaque color, almost a clear color. And you'll notice too, if you go back, all the rubber seal tape, whatever it's called, liquid rubber seam tape, all that stayed white, which was interesting. Okay, so all we're doing now is we're pulling back the part that's not glued yet, because we half glued it already. Half glued it? Half of it's glued already. And we pressed it down. And I'll show you how we did that in this next part, okay? And you can see me up there. The first thing I'm doing is taking the brush and the adhesive and going over all the tape. That's along the edges, that's along the seams. Also, any spots that have imperfection, like knots in the wood or any type of opening, I'm giving an extra dab or an extra dollop of sealant in there, and that's what it says to do on the directions actually. They also suggest that you use a roller and put it on thick. So I'm going to pour the Dicor adhesive right into a paint tray, and then use a roller with an attachment on it to spread it out. And I actually do, I believe, pour some of it onto the roof first and then spread it out. I watched another video that showed people pouring it on the roof first and then spreading it out as well. So I did a couple of different methods to get it nice and even and thick. And Heidi's painting over the actual seam tape, the liquid rubber tape that I just showed you a picture of a minute ago. She's painting the Dicor sealant right on it, so it gets extra. And yes, both of us took off our shoes, only wearing socks. Figured it'd be easier to throw away a pair of socks if they got glue all over them than our shoes. And yeah, that was my wife helping my left leg. You know, I have the nerve damage on the left side, and getting off the stairs, going down the ladder, coming off the roof is really difficult for me. So that was her helping me. So this is a really good angle for you guys to see how we did the process of pulling the rubber over the roof carefully, gently, and then we got up on the roof, and I used a push broom to smooth out all the bubbles. And you don't have to push hard. In fact, you don't want to push too hard because you might push the glue out from an area that you don't want to push it out of. So I use it as if I was just sweeping the floor, and I put some pressure on the broom, but not too much where I'm moving all the glue. Now Heidi went back with the roller, and that's a vinyl roller that you use on tiles. You saw me use that when I put the vinyl on the wall in the camper. We used that to smooth out the bubbles. So she's doing the same thing. She's going over all the seams, all the edges and all the seams, putting pressure on that to make sure that sticks really well. We did the same process for the front of the camper already, that you missed that because the GoPro died. And you can see where my openings are for the vents, the air conditioning and things like that, and we have to cut those out in a minute. I'll show you that too. Okay, next we got the termination bars. It's the pieces of metal that go along the edge of the roof that tie in what's flapping in the breeze right now, ties it into the camper. But before we can just screw it in there, we have to put butyl tape all the way along it, and that's what Heidi's working on right now. I'm helping her. All the way along, you just put the butyl tape right where all the screws are going to go, and then peel off the back sticky part, and you're good to go. So the roofing screws I used are by Tex, and they are 1 inch. They use a 1/4 inch bit that fits right into my drill, and they all come with a rubber washer that helps with the waterproofing. Okay, so after we get the termination bar all screwed in and all the way around the whole thing, I'm going to go ahead and use a razor knife, and I'll show you the knife in just a minute. Just a utility knife basically, to cut the excess off, and I just put it along the termination bar and ran the blade down along it to cut it. Cuts really easy, believe it or not, for being so thick. Next thing we do is install the vents. Motorized fans that go over the kitchen area, the bathroom area, or the shower literally, and one in the front over the bed, and then one over the entranceway in the back. Also, I have to cut the opening for the air conditioning. Right now I'm putting butyl tape, my favorite butyl tape, along the edge of the vent. It has a metal lip, and you put that on its base where it's going to touch the roof. Then there was a problem, and I'm going to discuss that problem in a minute with the vents not fitting, but we figured it out.
Okay, so let me show you this piece right here. So, even though I made the hole for the vent the exact opening that they said to make it, I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me why it wouldn't fit. Okay, I'm gonna show you why in a minute. Well, not show you why, but show you what I did. So, take a look at the. Okay, it fits now. Fits perfectly. Maybe I can show you tomorrow how on the other vent, the other one doesn't fit. And I really hope the Max fan vent, I don't have to cut that one because that thing's like $200. These are $79. So what I did, so what I was trying to tell you was the rubber, you fold the rubber in on the roof and staple it into the opening. Maybe they weren't counting on that for this piece right here, because that looks about the same thickness as the rubber, right? So what we did is we cut this piece off all the way around, okay, with this. I don't know if you can see that in the video or not, but that seemed to do the trick. I'm gonna probably have to make my own trim on the inside if the other trim that they gave us doesn't fit, because I cut that piece out, but I can do my little gray trim like I did before. All right, we're gonna go in and eat. We're beat, exhausted, but we're happy with the roof right now. So I'll talk to you guys later. Love y'all. Be good to each other. Look at the beautiful sunset. Let's just take this video. Let's take this down there. We can use it as a table.
There.
Take it straight that way.
Why don't I do that right now?
I want it out of the way. Look how close this tires came to it.
1, 2.
You got it? Turn it over.
And that, by the way, is the roller that we used to roll the sealant on the roof before you put the rubber down. And yes, this is the Max Air Vent. They're very popular in today's RVs. They had the best reviews I found on Google, and they were expensive, so I only used 2. I do wish I'd used Max Air Vents on all the holes. I used the cheap ones. I know at some point the cheap motor fans on those, one above the cooking area and then one above the shower area, eventually they're going to burn out. The max air vents have a longer lifespan. They're better. They can go in reverse as well, which is awesome. We've already used that feature several times as we traveled, blowing the air out or sucking the air in. And you can have it set up the way we set it up, is we have one sucking air in above the bed, and then it blows the air out at the end of the camper. Some of them have remotes, and there is a temperature control as well. So if it gets if it gets above 70 something degrees, the fan will kick on. The max air fan will kick on to cool it off. Really good feature. So you can keep that going all the time in your camper if you have it set up like I have it set up to solar power now, DC power. So those will kick on automatically. You don't have to worry about having it plugged in. And I use it at the house now that it's just sitting out here waiting for us to travel. I have that feature turned on right now. So, well, not right now because it's only 30 degrees. But this past summer, I could have it set on 75 degrees or 70 degrees. If it gets hotter than that, the fan will kick on and get that air circulating in there. Great feature. Okay, now you can see me cut an opening here for the vent. So all you do is basically draw an X. You start in one corner and cut straight across to the other corner, and then start in the other corner, go all the way across to the other corner. And then you just fold your ends down and use your staple gun to staple it into your, I use 2x3s, but if you use 2x4s or whatnot, staple it right in there. And then what I did was cut the corner that was hanging down past the opening. I cut that off. Does that make sense? Maybe I'll show you a better picture of it here pretty soon so you can see what I did. But you can see me now stapling right now, stapling into the 2x3. And then when I come back later, I will cover the plastic fold down, which you don't really see very much anyways, with my trim. So the trim, the gray trim, here, let me show you a picture of that, what it looks like. We'll cover the opening, and we'll cover the EPDM rubber hanging down. And it was at this moment that the worker realized he ran out of staples. So I went down to get more staples. My trusty assistant is I don't know where, doing something she needed to do, I guess. And back at it. The hammer's used for making sure the staples are flush. I don't want them sticking out when my trim covers any of that. And yes, this is a horrible view of me showing you nothing but my feet. Sorry about that. You can kind of tell that I'm cutting corner to corner in an X pattern and then dropping the pieces down. At some point I'm going to realize that, hey, my butt's in the camera's way, and I turn so you can see what I'm kind of doing. There you go. Wow. Anyways, once again, you just cut the X pattern, you fold down the pieces, you staple them, you cut off the excess. It's not hard, it's not complicated. And I showed you the picture before of what it looks like when I'm finished. I'll show you that again here. Okay, guess what? I'm actually going to show you how I do it. Do you see how I made the X pattern? It's real easy. It's not complicated. I've said that several times already, but you guys are probably thinking the same thing. But this is the best view so far of the whole thing. It's just really dark. Sorry about that. And you see me stapling it and then making sure with the hammer that the staples are flush. And then I just take the razor blade and cut the angled pieces so they're straight. Too easy, right? Alright, now I'm going to attach the fan. And before I can attach it, unfortunately, even the max fans, the lip that hangs down is not correct. And what do I mean by that? Well, the measurements that they give you on Amazon, they tell you the opening that you need is A, B, or C. I followed that exactly when I built it, and you guys saw me do that. Well, that's not correct. I don't know why, but it isn't. So my suggestion to anybody that does this is make sure you purchase your vents first and then measure the opening. Take them out of the box, measure the opening, and then build your openings that way. It'll save you some hassle that I've had to cut out some of the pieces there. You can see me cutting the trim off right now. It's like a little lip that hangs down. It doesn't stop it from its seal or anything like that because it's got the butyl tape in there, and then it also has the self-leveling, the Dicor, what's that stuff called? Sealant. So, ended up being not a very fun project though. I had to cut off the plastic on all of them so they were flush. So now, as you can see, the Max fan lays perfectly flush. It fits in there nice and tight and snug. So I'm going to put butyl tape over the outside edges. And butyl tape, if you've never used it, it's real simple. You lay it on there, you rub it down, and then you peel off the outside sticky part. I overlap my corners so that it gets extra, waterproofing on the edges. Yep, too easy, right? Then I use the same 1-inch roofing screws that I showed you before. I'll put up another image of it in just a second so you can keep that in mind. They have that rubber washer on the outside, which helps with the waterproofing aspect of the screws. Helps keep the water out. I'm going to point something out so you guys probably already recognize as well, but if you notice, I'm staggering the screws. There were 2 bands of butyl tape because the lip was so big. So I staggered the screws, one up the edge, one on the inside, staggered them back and forth. I figured that'd be the best way to help the seal as well. Make sure that no water could get in. It's probably overkill, but I didn't want any water getting in. Okay, now this is not a Max fan. This is one of those cheap, I forgot the name of them, but they're one of the cheap Amazon fans. They do have the electric DC fans in them. The switch is right there. You can see it is black. They are really cheap. Like I said, I wish I'd just went ahead and bought all 4 Max fans. At some point, I'll probably have to replace that fan. The point is I still have to cut the lip off on these ones as well. And here's a good close-up view of what it looked like, the Max fan at least, when it was all trimmed out. And those are my openings for the fans. And here's the one that you didn't see me attach this one, but I figured I'd show you what it looked like anyways.
Can you go in reverse? That's forward. Just go forward. Don't tip it sideways. Careful. You're getting too wild. She's having way too much fun with a golf cart. She found an excuse. There she goes. She found an excuse to go back to the house to get something. Just so she can ride the golf cart. Look at her, she's taking the long way. Careful. Careful, my precious cargo dog. Yeehaw! Bye, Kip. Alright, the rest of us got work to do. And you guys know what's coming next, don't you? Let me just give you a little hint. It weighed almost 90 pounds. And it took a lot of effort to get it up on the roof. So we just set it up there, and I went inside the camper where the opening of the AC was. And you can literally look up through there and see where it lines up. It has foam pads that it sets on, as well as, of course, the big opening. And then you saw me putting one of the bolts in already, but there are 4 bolts, 4 long bolts that go through the bottom plate and into the air conditioning unit that attaches it. And that holds it down. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So all I did was slide cord through this little hole that you cut, and I plugged it into the only available spot. Now we need a heat shield for this, I bet. So that would be this thing.
Yep.
And it only takes 2 screws. That's weird. Only 2 screws. So I bet this goes like this. And it's screw big. Can't wait to see what this video looks like.
Why?
Because you look like you got seizures over there, camera.
You need another screw.
Sweet. Now what? Now what?
Can I pause it?
Okay, so my camera person got tired, so she went in for a break. I'm gonna keep working. There we go. So, if you can see this, all I've done is taken the 12x2 yellow. I'm so tired. Yellow electrical cord and attached the white to the white, the black to the black, and then the ground is actually up inside there. If you look inside, can you see that? So the ground is actually spun around. Come on, focus, please. The ground is actually spun around that green hex head. I'm not sure what size that was. I had to dig through a couple of different pieces for the drill, the driver, and then all I did was spin it around there and drive the hex head in there, so it's nice and snug. So it's grounded. Goes right to it. Nothing's in its way. Nothing's touching it. It's okay if it touches the box. I want it to be grounded. That's it. So I'm going to put another piece of electric tape on the what you call it? I can't talk today. The white set, and shove them both in there. And then there's this box right here. I believe this box fits over that cover. I'll show you that when I'm done. Alright, stand by. Okay. A couple more talking points. I'm really sorry about that vibrating light. I think the batteries, whenever the batteries start to get low, they do that for some reason. I don't understand it. Maybe they'll stop doing it now. So, because of the way I'm wiring right now, I'm actually going to wire this to a plug and plug it into a power outlet until I get all the wiring done on the camper, so that we have AC in here at least. Talked to the RV specialist today, and they said you can do that, but just keep an eye on the plug. You'll burn the plugs out really quickly. It'll get hot. So I don't know. I'm gonna try it. If I feel like it's getting too hot, the plug, I'm just gonna stop doing it. But so we'll give it a whirl. In the meantime, as well, because I'm not putting a hole into my roof, into my ceiling, I'm gonna run my conduit like I did over here. That conduit right there. I'm gonna run conduit there, and then along there, and then out this side most likely, and or even I will put it through there. Anyways, long story short, I notched this piece out here so that the yellow cord could fit through there. Alright, what you didn't see me do was I finished taping the white wires as well as the black wires nice and tight, electrical tape, and then pushed them up inside and put this outlet cover. Okay, so they are safe and secure. Alright, let me get this done and I'll talk to you in a minute. Alright guys, sorry I lost track of where I was showing you what I was doing. I apologize for that. So I think the only thing you missed was inside here are 2 sheet metal screws, hex heads, and you screw those into the frame. Okay, and there's 8 places right here along the outside where the ducts are, openings, and you can use wood screws. I use my torque screws, and there's 8 of them in there. You can see them all. Okay, so I did that. It's secure pretty nice, and then I put the knobs on here, and they work. You actually hear it. You can hear it. Click on. Okay, it's all working. Okay, and then put this filter back on too. So that's done. Now I don't know where this cover is. Gotta find that. It's here somewhere. Oh, they're right here. Okay. So So imagine this just pops in somehow. That one's done. One more. I'm probably not gonna be able to see this one unless I put the light back here. Yeah, there's our bedroom just full of stuff that we gotta find a place for. I think that's conduit up there. That's electrical stuff. I've been looking for that. Well, that's what happens when you have people helping you move and they just put stuff anywhere. But what you can say, it's help, you know. We needed help for sure. Okay, so this goes here. Whoops, I didn't even show you what I was doing. Open and close the vent. We're gonna want that blasting towards the bedroom. I know us. We like it cold. Cool. So the AC. Ow! Flippity flop. So the AC is connected. That goes to the converter box, but I think I'm gonna jimmy rig something in the meantime. So I'm gonna try to. I don't know. The guy from the RV place said it'll work, but I just don't feel safe about it. All right, guys, I'm going in. Tomorrow we got to clean up this mess. First of all, I gotta put the DAP on the vents. All the vents are in. As you can see, where are they? They're in, but I I'm not using their trim because for some reason, and I don't understand this, you'll see in the video, I was 3/8 of an inch short. It doesn't make sense to me. I followed their dimensions that they sent me. I don't understand why it was short. I had to cut the vent and not use their trim, so I'm actually going to use my own trim. I was planning on using my own trim here anyways, along here. So I'll blend the two in. I'll put a piece of plywood trim in there, paint it gray. It'll all match all the conduit and everything, so it'll look alright. And then the Max fan's down here. Same thing with... Rip my shirt. Same thing with the Max fan. That is a tight fit too. I like it. It's a tight fit, but there's no room for their trim or their what do you call it? So I'm gonna build my own trim. All right, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night. Love y'all. Be good to each other.